A man stands behind a counter. On the counter are a laptop and a mug. Coffee-making equipment fills the shelves behind him.
Hey everybody, Tyler here at the Evinced Cafe. If you've seen part 1 of our series on AI, and even if you haven't, you probably know that it's tricky to use AI for digital accessibility. Stay tuned and I'll show you what we figured out.
Coffee beans swirl inside a grinder. A person operates an espresso machine. Cream mixes with coffee. Tyler types on his laptop and sips from the mug. He sets the mug on a 3.5-inch floppy disk. Title: Evinced Cafe. Text: Is it smart to use artificial intelligence? Part 2.
The promise of AI for Evinced is that we can use it to suggest accessible code to a developer as they work. Not just that, but the code will be specific to what they're working on and ultimately their company and even personal style. But the key problem here is accuracy, and consistent accuracy at that. When Evinced recommends code, it needs to be both appropriate and accessible all the time. So our approach breaks down into 3 pieces. Expertise. First, we store up our expertise about the kinds of elements that developers are typically working on, and we make that expertise available on the fly. To do this requires the use of your first tech term of the day: vector embedding. Suffice to say, it's a way of representing non-numerical things as numbers, and it's a super efficient technique used by many leading companies. Intent. Second, we use AI to determine the developer's intent at the point of their cursor. What kind of component are they trying to code up? Is it a tab list or something else? That's critical because knowing what they're working on means we know not just how to code that element, but all of its states and attributes. That is, how it's supposed to work on the page, look, and respond to user input. Guardrails. Last, once we have a rough idea of the developer's intent, we can query the AI system in a clever way to make sure that it only returns code that passes our expertise check. We do this with some fairly elaborate prompt engineering, which is your second tech term of the day.
Under the phrase prompt engineering appears the definition: the art of wording single or even multiple questions to an LLM to arrive at the best answer.
Simply put, asking questions of AI systems like ChatGPT requires a lot of skill and experience. Here's a simple example.
A browser tab is open to the Runway website.
I'm going to ask this generative AI system to make me an image of a house in a field.
Into the prompt box he types house in a field.
You and I probably think that field means some sort of plants, but the system sure doesn't.
The system returns an image of an ultra-modern 2-story house with a lawn and rock garden.
Okay, time for some prompt engineering. I'll specify field of sunflowers.
His prompt now reads house in a field of sunflowers. The system returns an image of a modern house in a field of sunflowers.
That's better. But now I don't want a modern style house. I saw a cute Bavarian house in Germany a few years ago, so I'll specify that.
He edits the prompt to read Bavarian house in a field of sunflowers. The system returns an image of a girl with blonde hair in a field of sunflowers. Her head is made of sunflowers, and her face is one giant sunflower.
Ouch. Not sure what this Frankenflower thing is. So, more prompt engineering. Instead of using the word Bavarian, I'll use the word traditional.
He edits the prompt to read traditional house in a field of sunflowers. The system returns a photo of a house in a field of sunflowers. A single stemless sunflower appears on the roof of the house.
And boom. Well, aside from the sunflower on the roof. So I think you get the picture, even if this AI system doesn't. Using AI to help write accessible code requires accessibility expertise, understanding developer intent in real time, and extensive prompt engineering. Next time you hear somebody say they're using AI to help on digital accessibility, make sure their approach involves all 3. The last thing you want is a sunflower on your roof. That's all for today, folks. See you next time here at the Evinced Cafe.
Logo: Evinced.